which is and will. Who, what, when, where, why, how, which is and will. That's what it's all about, y'all, to try to figure out all. Who, what, when, where, why, how, which is and will. Who, what, when, where, why, how, which is and will. Dressed to the nines. Who, what, when, where, why, how, which is and will. Ask me anytime. That's what it's all about, y'all, to try to figure out all. Who, what, when, where, why, how, which is and will. Who, what, when, where, why, how, which is and will. Who, what, when, where, why, how, which is and will. That's what it's all about, to try to figure out who, what, when, where, why, how, which is and who, what, when, where, why, how, which is. Who, what, when, where, why, how, which is and will. Big bang to big bloom. Big bang to big bloom. 300 million spermatozoa in my mother's womb. 30,000 days until the tomb. Let's see, that's 82 years. After that, am I to presume a heavenly room, doom and gloom, or just an anonymous energy-riven loom? What? No. Who, what, when, where, why, how, which is and will. The 9 W's, just to the nines. My acronym for the 9 fundamental primordial questions in the human experience as expressed in English. Who am I? Let's see, I'm asleep, I'm watching a movie, I'm dreaming, I'm told that my subconscious is teaching me a lesson. Let's see, subconscious, I'm asleep, I'm watching the film, and suddenly I'm communicating with myself while I'm flying in the dream. That's 4 characters. What? In a universe that 13.7 billion years ago started smaller than a grain of sand, exploded and is now 100 trillion miles across. Remember that a trillion seconds is more than 31,000 years. Imagine a mile for each second for more than 31,000 years and multiply that by 100 trillion. What? 125 billion galaxies? I'm on a rock, you're on a rock that's 8,000 miles through. Center of the Earth is hotter than the surface of the sun, 6,700 degrees. It's 25,000 miles around, weighs 13.2 trillion pounds. It's spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, going around the sun at 66,700 miles an hour, in a solar system that whirs at 504,000 miles an hour, in a galaxy that's rotating 600,000 miles per hour. How do you keep your hat on? What? In a phenomenon we call time, in which it's been estimated that 98 billion to 1 trillion persons have lived on this planet, with a body that houses 96,000 miles of blood vessels, making 3,000 to 5,000 circulations a day, with a heart that beats 100,000 times a day, 35 million times a year, 3 billion times in a lifetime? What? Making 7 million new blood cells a second? We've got a body that houses 7 times 10 to the 23rd power number of atoms. That's 700 billion times a trillion. Each atom is apparently infinitely divisible. My brain, your brain, is so ingenious that it's operating that infinity while we're asleep? What? No. Hamlet, Horatio, you think there might be more going on in the universe than is dreamt about in your philosophy? Here's the question. Do I believe that inanimate substance, or just a random dance of atoms, produced me and each of you who desires worth and meaning and love? Wow, how could that be? That doesn't even sound scientific. That material substance could produce the longing for worth and love. So we have 9 W's: who, what, when, where, why, how, which, is, and will. Which perspective should I consider? A TAD, that's my acronym for the 4 perspectives. Atheist? No. Theist? Oh yeah, we talk every day. Agnostic? I don't know. Deist? Yeah, but he left. Shh. Whose law should I follow? That all men are created equal and endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights? Will I go somewhere after I die? The best way to answer these questions, I feel confident, is to be an idiot. That's my acronym for indefatigably curious, don't stop, divested of prejudice, impervious to insult, open to falsification, and totally and tenaciously taken to tracking the metaphor. For years I heard the word metaphor, I didn't know what it meant. In Greek it means to transfer. That is, if Shakespeare calls the moon heaven's pale governess of the tides, he simply transferred the properties of a beautiful lady to that nocturnal, spherical, heavenly body. The baby's at the mother's breast, that becomes mama, mater, mother, matrix, matriculate. It becomes matter because matter is the mother of everything that exists. All words are metaphors. We don't know the full meaning of anything. So my conclusion is, we want to know what the words mean. My philosophy is this. Philosophy is not a body of dogma. It's an act of clarification. And here's what's clear. To me, evolution, no problem. My father's chemistry into my mother's reception. I started smaller than a grain of sand. Now I'm 5'11", 172 pounds. I'm defying the law of gravity. I stand up. I don't fall down. This is unbelievable. No, I promise that my stupid, selfish, narcissistic, egotistical life has stopped. And I am going to devote every moment of this mystery to the pursuit of love, forgiveness, seeking forgiveness for what I have done, and creativity, and I'm not going to stop until I take my last breath. And all I'm asking, and I have fumbled, mumbled, and stumbled into something that Freud would call simply infantile projection, but it's working for me. I have learned that if I humbly ask, I receive. And all I'm asking you is, will you just consider, divested of prejudice, the possibility that we're invented as a gift to help one another and to realize that this is a global human family who could work together and save the 24,000 children who die every day from a lack of food and medicine. I'm so thankful to be in this frame of mind. What was in that primordial goo that produced me and you? My parents named me Art Wheeler. I'm your friend. I love you. Thank you.